Good morning. Would everyone please rise and welcome the students of the graduating class of December 2017. All right, you may be seated. Before we start, I'm going to ask everyone to please turn off their cell phones during the ceremony. And also, a big hello to all parents who are streaming this on YouTube right now from all over the world. Hey, guys. First of all, good morning, staff, platform party, family members, guests, and most importantly, the graduates. On behalf of Columbia International College, I would like to extend a warm welcome to everyone who is gathered here today. My name is Brandon Lewis from the Student Development Office, the best office in the world. And it is my honor to be your Master of Ceremonies for today's celebration. It is now my pleasure to introduce the platform party. Starting off with Miss Nancy Baker, the Vice Principal. Deanna Ducey-Canova, the vote of thanks. Pedro Martinez, the Tech Director. Steve Saunders, Principal. Clement Chan, the Executive Director. Melissa Poole, the keynote speaker from McMaster's University Registrar's Office. Juan Carlos Ramirez, the Valedictorian. Dr. Cam Davis, the Columbia International College Scholarship Endowment Fund. And the biggest Toronto Maple Leafs fan on the planet, Mr. Pat Hurley, the General Manager. On the second row, we have Ernest Damali from the University of Guelph International Recruitment Officer. Alicia Kumpul from Ryerson Recruitment Office. Valerie Herdice from Waterloo Undergraduate Recruitment and Admissions Office. Jenny Irwin from the University of Toronto Scarborough, Student Recruitment Officer. Megan Jansen from the University of Toronto, Mississauga, Recruitment and Liaison Office. Floyd Norona from the University of Toronto, St. George, National Recruitment Officer. Renu Kenga Fonseca from the University of Toronto, Mississauga, Director of Recruitment and Admissions. Nee Jaden from McMaster, Senior Project Manager, International Liaison Officer. May Jha, McMaster Project Manager, Office of International Affairs. Colin Ryrie from Brock University, Relationship Manager. Andra Sukai from York, Faculty Liaison Assistant, Student Engagement. Makira Dobson from the University of Ottawa, Liaison Officer. And the back row, Xiaoshan Yu, Dean of Students. Renuka Arun, Head of Guidance. Tim Limes, Head of Mathematics. Wendy Henry, Head of Business. Andrew Milne, Head of Science. Alice Pivinchero, Head of Business, Head of English. Bert Susan, Head of Social Sciences and Arts. Jeremy Galia, Head of the ESL program. Denise Gurel-Teddy, Head of the Junior Middle School. And Chris Vanderdeen, the Duke of Edinburgh Award and LIT Coordinator. Graduates, today is a celebration of your accomplishments, and it is a proud moment for all of us, teachers, staff, parents, and friends, as we watch you graduate and celebrate the end of this chapter in your life, and see your excitement and apprehension as you begin the next one, which is like the funnest chapter. So, at this moment, I'm going to ask you guys to please rise and join Mr. Lawless and our school band and choir in singing of the national anthem. Please be seated. Thank you, Mr. Lawless and Kimberly. At this point, I would like to invite our esteemed principal, Mr. Stephen Saunders, to give the principal's welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Brandon. Put my eyes on again as I get older. Good morning, parents, both here and afar, family members, university representatives and platform party, faculty, Mr. Chan, tech students, and of course, members of the Columbia International College December 2017 graduating class. It is my honor and privilege to be the principal of Columbia International College and address you today. So many graduation speeches depict a journey the graduates have traveled or one they will embark on in the near future. Our grads exemplify the term educational journey. For our CIC graduates, theirs is really a journey on steroids, both in distance traveled and in terms of personal growth. You've traveled thousands of miles, left behind family, friends, the comforts of home, and routines you're familiar with to arrive here in Hamilton. To the unknown, to the different. How many of you remember sitting in orientation and thinking to yourself, oh my gosh, what have I done? Or, I can't do this. But do this you did, and then some. With open minds, eagerness, and a resilient demeanor, you embraced all things CIC. You ventured into a new country needing to learn and adopt routines, actions, and habits necessary to succeed. You lived with peers from around the world, learning more about diversity, tolerance, and equality than any book or movie could ever have depicted. In the classroom, you were challenged by teachers and a different curriculum than you had been raised on, taught in a way that you'd never seen before, and all of these testing your fortitude and self-confidence. Each of these a daunting task on their own, together for many an unfathomable, it's unfathomable to say that, undertaking. But for you grads, you made it look so easy and so seamless. I'm not sure if you even are aware of the magnitude of your accomplishments. Your humble nature does not allow you to flaunt your success. But the entire CIC faculty applauds your success. You've shown us your drive, determination, commitment, passion, and resilience. Grads, these words may not sound like much to you right now, but having developed these traits at Columbia, you are well prepared for your post-secondary adventures as your journey continues. And believe it or not, you're leaving behind some fond memories for staff here. Whether it's somebody who works in residence, our SD staff, the Sodexo lady who saw you every day, or your teachers, you have left an impression on them. A word of advice, grads. These daily interactions that you've probably taken for granted, these personal connections are how the people will define who you are. That is how they will remember you. That is how they describe you to people. Even after you've left, people will be able to talk about who you are by how you treated them. So grads, no matter who you meet on your journey, remember to offer them a kind word or gesture, be polite and respectful, or show them you're empathetic to them or their plight, as it will be these actions for which people will remember you. As you continue your journey into university, college, or the workplace, remember that you will encounter some wonderful, successful days and events that will make you say, yeah, this is awesome. And no matter how many of those days you find, there will also be the hard days, the why am I doing this days, the I just can't do this days. It is during these days you need to remember your journey to and through Columbia, to remember your determination, passion, commitment, and even your humor, and harness these memories and energy to support you and strengthen you. Or to seek out those people who you had treated kindly previously or encouraged, and they will in turn support you and help you plow through those hard, difficult days and arrive at the next, yeah, this is awesome day. For that day is there, close by, waiting for you to discover it, to embrace it, and to enjoy it. In conclusion, to find those awesome days, you have to keep moving forward, grads, on your journey, never settling for the status quo or the same old, but searching for the new, the challenging, the rewarding. Dr. Ruth Westheimer acknowledges, my favorite animal is the turtle. The reason is that in order for the turtle to move forward, it has to stick its neck out. There are going to be times in your life when you're going to have to stick your neck out. There will be challenges, and instead of hiding in your shell, you have to go out and meet them. Grads, you have shown your teachers, your parents, and most importantly yourselves, that you're ready for new challenges on your journey. Go ahead, grads, stick your necks out. You are ready. Congratulations.
Melissa Poole is a proud graduate of McMaster University. Graduating first with the honors of Bachelor of Arts from the Labor Studies program, Melissa later returned to complete her Master's of Business Administration degree. She worked in the private sector for a number of years for global leaders such as Saliska Inc., a multinational electronics manufacturer service provider, and SciEx, a worldwide supplier for life science analytical technologies. In her role managing international supply chains, Melissa gained valuable experience as she worked with partner sites and suppliers around the globe, including in China, Italy, the United Kingdom, Japan, Singapore, and South Korea. When the opportunity to return to McMaster presented itself, she couldn't turn it down. She joined the Registrar's Office and has been with the University Registrar's Office for the past 7 years. Melissa has successfully directed several large-scale overhauls of university systems and processes, while also facilitating intensified enrollment and capacity targets. It's my pleasure to introduce today's keynote speaker, Melissa Poole.
Thank you very much. Mr. Chan, Principal Saunders, distinguished guests, graduating students of Columbia International College, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. I am delighted to be here on this very special day as this semester's graduating class reaps the rewards of all their hard work. You made it. You graduate today from a school to be proud of with an astonishing success story. To have grown from a school with just 9 students in a rented classroom in 1978 to become Canada's largest boarding school, and where on average you graduate 1,000 students a year destined for future studies in Canada abroad is extraordinary. It is a school to be proud of, and one that I know is proud of you. As Brandon has mentioned, I've been the Registrar of McMaster for 7 years. As Registrar, I'm involved in evaluating the many thousands of students who apply for entry every year into McMaster's various programs and faculties. And I'm always impressed by not only the academic achievements of applicants, but also the leadership potential they demonstrate, the evidence of engagement students have in their communities, schools, and classrooms, and their work as volunteers. And I'm happy to say that graduates from this fine school fare very well in those characteristics as well. Seeing how accomplished applicants are always makes me optimistic for the future. You are remarkable. As Mr. Chan has said elsewhere, leadership skills training is a very important aspect of Columbia's program. If you'll forgive me for quoting your own words back to you, Mr. Chan, you have said, our residential program involves students in community service, mentorship, and clubs, and we include an extensive character development program that plays a very important role in making each student a leader. These are impressive goals, and judging by the success of both Columbia itself and its graduates in recent decades, you and your staff have succeeded admirably. So well that I understand 100% of Columbia graduates go on to post-secondary education, with 95% accepted into Canadian universities and colleges. It's an extraordinary record, and one which I suspect is not matched by any other high school in Canada. McMaster and Columbia have enjoyed an excellent relationship over the years. Since 1996, when the Educational Alliance at Hamilton established annual entrance scholarships for Columbia graduates, and in 2009, an additional partnership was formed to guarantee admission to all Columbia students who meet McMaster's admission requirements. And as a result, every year, McMaster accepts many Columbia graduates into challenging programs to help achieve their educational and career goals. And a great deal of their success can be attributed to the effort Columbia students put into engaging in the community through fundraisers and volunteering with local organizations, and in the school itself through leadership teams, peer tutoring, and mentoring. Indeed, I was impressed to learn from Principal Saunders in this semester alone, Columbia students have contributed over 14,000 hours of volunteer service. I mean, that's amazing. You guys have done a great job. Volunteerism goes to the heart of society. It gives us insight into the lives and struggles of others. It affirms our common humanity and helps us to realize our full potential as individuals who belong and whose voices matter. So I hope that you will continue to be engaged in this way when you leave here and you move on to post-secondary education. At McMaster, we are very proud of our involvement in the Hamilton community. This year, for example, we partnered with Mohawk College and Redeemer University College to launch City Lab, an innovation hub where students, city staff, and community stakeholders will work together to support Hamilton's strategic priorities. Speaking of the initiative, our president, Dr. Patrick Dean, said, City Lab provides students with opportunities to tackle real issues and challenges facing Hamiltonians and to work together towards a healthier, more inclusive, and more successful Hamilton for everyone. Through initiatives like City Lab, students gain new skills, forge meaningful connections with the city, and enhance their employment opportunities after graduation. These kind of initiatives have helped McMaster to achieve a position where it's only one of 4 Canadian universities to be included in the world's top 100 universities. And just this year, McMaster has been recognized as the most research-intensive university in Canada, outpacing its peers by more than double the national average in research dollars. Now, this might sound like a bit of shameless bragging, and it is, but only because I hope you all will consider McMaster, but also because I know that the lessons you've learned at Columbia International College will help you to reach your full potential when you leave here. I'm speaking not only of the academic knowledge you have gained, but also of the life skills you've gained through your activities outside the classroom. You've reached an important milestone in your education, and a great deal more hard work lies ahead. But you've already demonstrated your ability to take new challenges in stride by coming to a new country, by embarking on that education journey that Principal Saunders talked about, and excelling in your studies. So I know that university or college will not be too tough for you to handle. But there are some things that you should know that will help smooth the path ahead of you. The piece of advice that I wish someone had given to me before I left for university is to engage. Don't be shy, don't hold back. Immerse yourself in all the new experiences that it has to offer. Ask questions in class, visit your professors during office hours, join clubs or teams, and remember, you belong and your voice matters. When McMaster students are asked what they value about their McMaster experience, the theme of community comes up time and again. At our own convocation ceremonies a few weeks back, I was speaking with a student about this sense of community, and he mentioned the wealth of clubs meant that every student can find one that speaks to them and that makes them feel that they belong. There are over 300 different clubs at McMaster and 25 different sports teams or 40 intramural leagues and tournaments, and I know other schools have exactly these same kind of opportunities as well. There are so many ways to engage. Pick the one that suits you best, but do join in. You will not only enrich your experience, but that of those around you. You will make new friends and create connections that will serve you well in your careers thereafter. And don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't wait until you're sure your answer is perfect before you speak up. As I'm sure your parents will remind you, you didn't learn to walk by following their instructions. You learned by falling down and getting back up again. And that's the crucial part. As people over the ages have pointed out in many different ways, it's not the falling down, it's the getting back up that taught you how to walk. So you must never be afraid to speak up. Remember, you will be offering a fresh perspective through the international and individual experiences that you bring to your college or university. This is a difficult time in global history with many countries building walls and limiting access to people outside their borders. Canada, however, remains a truly multicultural country. We welcome the ethnic and cultural richness that people from other countries bring with them when they come here. In this respect, you have a great deal to contribute in the classroom and in whatever campus activities you take up. By your success at Columbia International College, you have shown that you are equal to the challenges that will face you when you leave here. I know your parents and family are very proud of you, and I know they will be there for you as they have been to give you all the support that you need as you take the next big step in your lives. As a representative of McMaster University, on behalf of everyone on the platform today, I congratulate you on your graduation today, and I wish you every success in the future. My very best wishes to you all.
All right, it's time for the fun part. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Ah, that's better, that's better. All right, at this time, I'd like to call up Mr. Chan, Mr. Saunders, and Ms. Baker for the presentation of diplomas. Can we have IT come forward, please? Thank you.
Laura Sofía Barajas Ramírez.
I would like to call upon Pedro Martinez to present the Tech de Monterey certificates.
Laura Sofía Barajas Ramírez. Nadia Patricia Batarase Segura. Fabricio Bernal Negreto. Saúl Isaac Delgado Guzmán. Alba Citlali Escamilla Hernández. Luis Alonso García Zapata. Omar Fernando J. Juan Marcos. Valeria López Manzano. Ivana Martínez Gutiérrez. Rodrigo Martínez Lozano. Zeus Ramsés Melo Cortés. Diego Durán López. Sara Murra Rivera. Gustavo Osuna del Puerto. Elisa María Ríos Domínguez. Renata Rojí Pexol. Carlos Eduardo Román Rodríguez. Rafael Roqueni Martínez. Mónica Vivian Samperio Galicia. María Alejandra Toranzo García. Ami Fernanda Vargas Inurreta. Y Mario Villarreal Rodríguez.
All right, thank you. Congratulations to all the graduates. I would like to note that a lot of the students will be applying for university in the spring, so a lot of them will have a lot more scholarships and entrances into universities come a few months. Now, we are going to arrive to a very special part of today's ceremony. We are going to be going through the various awards and scholarships that are earned by these graduates, both within and outside the class. First, I'd like to call up Mr. Saunders to present the $3,000 Principal Scholarship to the top graduate. The recipient of this scholarship is Diana Dusikinova. I'd like to call upon Ernest Damali to come forward and hand out the Harold Mills Memorial Scholarship. $1,000 is awarded in memory of Harold Mills, former principal, to the top 4U graduate in the social science stream. This recipient is Vanessa Caddy. For the Kevin Matthews Memorial Scholarship, $1,000 is awarded in memory of Kevin Matthews to a graduate who has demonstrated leadership and service to the CIC community, overcame personal hardships or challenges, and has shown excellence and achievement. To the recipient of this year's Kevin Matthews Scholarship is Shan Lee Wong. Unfortunately, they're not here today, but please, a round of applause. To present the Sylvia Park Memorial Scholarship, I'll ask Valerie Herdice to come forward, please. $500 is awarded in memory of Sylvia Park, a graduate of CIC, to a graduating student who is an Ontario scholar and has demonstrated leadership in the school community. Oh, no one's going to be surprised about this one. This year's recipient is Isabel Garcia. For the Sodexo Scholarship, I'll call upon Jenny Irwin to hand out the scholarship. $1,000 is awarded to the top 4U graduate in science and math streams. This recipient, surprise, surprise, is Deanna Dusikanova. If I could have Megan Jensen come forward for the Derwood Jones Barkwell Chartered Accountant Award. $500 is awarded to the top 4U student in accounting. Ying Li is the recipient of this award. If I could have Alicia Kumpool come forward, please, for the Donwell Insurance Brokers Limited Residence Community Awards. $500 is awarded to the graduates who have made a significant contribution to the residence community. Each residence nominates a student who has made a positive difference in the residence. The recipients for this year's Donwell Insurance Brokers Limited Residence Community Awards are, from Crown Plaza, we have Vanessa Zhao. From Pine Hall Girls, we have Isabel Garcia. From Linden Hall, we have Jessica Lee, but she is unfortunately not here today. Round of applause. And for Pine Hall Boys, we have Min Tran. Who is also not here, or is coming up very quickly. Hey! And for Oak Hall, we have Shahab Alib. Yay! All right, next I'll ask Floyd Norona to come forward for the Global Citizen Award. $1,000 is awarded to the graduating student who demonstrates the wisdom to respect and who strives to understand and care for people of different cultures. Seriously, in my 9 years working here, I can't think of a better recipient than Juan Carlos. The Fine Arts Award, $500, is awarded to the top 4U graduate demonstrating excellence in fine arts. We're happy to present this award to Shin Zhu. However, she's not here today. If I could have Ni Jadin to come forward for the Excellence of Character Scholarship. 3 scholarships of $2,000 are awarded in May, June, and December to a graduating student who has proven to be well-rounded, by excelling in leadership roles while maintaining a high academic standard of over 90%. They are well respected by both staff and students for embracing and exhibiting Columbia's key character attributes throughout their time at Columbia. The recipient of this year is Deanna Dusikanova. If I could ask for Makira Dobson to come forward for the Integrity and Leadership Scholarship. 3 scholarships of $1,000 are awarded in May and June and December to a graduating student who has demonstrated integrity in their leadership role in the school by being dedicated to personal growth, accountability, and respect to the school's diversity in both words and actions. The recipient of this year is Juan Carlos. I'd like to draw your attention to the names of the students who have won continuing scholarships here at CIC in your program. They will receive these awards during a ceremony held at a later date. Moving forward, I would like to call Chris Vanderdeen to come forward for the Duke of Edinburgh Bronze Level Awards. Hey! We have 4 students who've completed the Duke of Edinburgh International Award for Young People Bronze Level. These students were committed to developing themselves in all areas in life: personal health and well-being, service to others and their community, skill development, and an outdoor camping expedition. These students participated in a beautiful canoe trip. We would like to call upon Chris and the recipients to come up for their pins and certificates. Can I have Salim, Juan, Camilla, and Deanna to come forward? Before we move forward, I would just like to get your attention and congratulate our graduating class as a group. These guys have served over 6,200 hours to our community. That deserves a big round of applause. Really, really amazing stat, and you guys are wonderful for doing it. In addition, in your program, you'll see in the graduation list, you'll see many students with a star by their name. These are the Ontario Scholars who have collected an average of over 80% in 6 four-year courses, and they definitely deserve a big round of applause for that. Congratulations, guys. All right, now it is time for the best part of this ceremony, in my opinion. The speeches from our students. We're going to be starting with our valedictorian, Juan Carlos Ramirez. Began his studies here at Columbia International College in August of 2016. When Juan first arrived, he was selected for the Model United Nations team that traveled to the United Nations headquarters in New York City to compete at the Change the World Model United Nations Conference. While there, he was recognized for his outstanding performance. He also was able to participate in the Hamilton United Nations Conference, where he was awarded an honorable mention. Throughout his time here, he has been selected to be part of 2 executive leadership teams, the Service Prefects and the Student Council, and earned distinction in both leadership teams. While completing all these activities, Juan somehow found time to complete his Duke of Edinburgh Bronze Award. Overall, Juan is very well respected by his peers and is always willing to step up and lend a helping hand. I have no doubt that he will make a positive contribution in his university and his community. It's my pleasure to welcome up Juan.
I'm actually really nervous. So, hello everyone. fellow graduates. For those that don't know me, I'm Juan. We went to high school together. We ate together every day. We lived together every day. And we also complain about the Wi-Fi every day. It's hard to understand how this works. One day you're sitting down on your bed, head lost in your thoughts, wandering among them and selfishly falling in love with them. You keep them to yourself because you fear what people can do to them. You protect them from experiencing the downside of love. But today is different. Today, I am standing here. And like a father on his daughter's wedding, I am allowing those thoughts to be loved by someone other than me, hoping that they make someone else feel like I felt when I had the chance. Now, I want you to take a moment. Look to the person to your left. Like guys actually do it, thank you. Look at the person to your right. Yeah. One of you will die by the time I finish this speech. I'm kidding, guys. I just saw it in a movie and I wanted to do it. Anyways, I'll introduce myself in the typical CIC student fashion. Hi, my name is Juan Carlos Ramirez Cabrera. Sure, you can call me Juan. Ha, yeah, the Juan and only. Like I haven't heard that one before and all the jokes and puns my name carries with it. I am from Mexico. Ha, yeah, hola to you too. No, I will not translate the lyrics of Despacito. Again. I'm standing in front of you today because honestly the other guy couldn't make it. So here I am, trying to make this long ceremony full of potential, full of pride, and full of really mispronounced names, a little bit more entertaining. When I was first told I was going to be valedictorian, I was approached by who I refer as the self-acclaimed legendary Mr. B. In that moment, I was still in that flirtatious relationship with my thoughts, scared of my own voice, which I continued to keep to myself. But when the legendary Mr. B told me I was chosen by you guys to be the valedictorian graduate of December 2017, I thought to myself, oh boy, that's a huge mistake. That was my first thought. I was chosen to do the impossible because now, not only will be the first time my voice was going to be heard by someone other than myself, but now I had to do it, not only for my sake, but for all the other silent voices out there. I had to speak what I never heard, to come to terms with someone whose voice was silent, to speak to you from my heart and tell you that everything will be okay when we walk out those doors. And I was deeply, utterly terrified. For me and for you guys, don't get me wrong. I was also full of excitement when I was told I was going to be valedictorian. It was the chance to allow my voice to be heard and give you a piece of advice for what is to come in your life. And then I remember what I learned in Mr. Susan's philosophy class about Socrates. He was a Greek philosopher known for walking around, giving advice to people, and they poisoned him. So yeah, that's a no. But that's not what I thought it was a mistake. The mistake was putting me in a room full of people, a microphone, and unlimited time for me to tell bad jokes and cheesy puns. I was excited for all the potential bad jokes and puns I could hide in my speech, but against my desires, my friends begged me not to do so, and I promised them the speech was free of bad jokes and puns. Feel free to feel sad or relieved accordingly. I want to thank the amazing student development staff, the outstanding teaching faculty, and all my graduating friends and their families for being here today. I also want to thank the legendary Mr. B for not taking away the microphone just yet. I also want to acknowledge those that are not here. Those friends and family who physically are in Russia, the Netherlands, the UK, Brazil, Spain, Mexico, and Canada, but will always prevail in my heart and memories. I want to thank those people that show me that a friend is just a family that you choose from. And speaking of which, I want to thank my family for being here. Both of my parents who took me all the way where I'm standing today, and they never left my side. These amazing parents who managed to raise one outstanding son full of happiness that excels in every sport. And this beautiful daughter, which is the purest and happiest thing ever. And me. Hi, Mom. But there is one person who I think deserves the biggest thanks of all. The person who allowed me to stand proud here today. My grandmother, Yoli. Back in 2016, when I was just another Mexican boy living in Cancun, that could just not wait to get out to the world, She was who always encouraged me to do so. I remember when I was still uncertain of my future. Being honest, guys, Canada wasn't my first choice. I wanted to explore the world. I wanted to go to places like South Africa, Australia, England, even Finland. But everyone, and sometimes my family, they were against that. They said that probably wasn't the best idea for the moment. But not my grandma. She would sit with me and say, when people give you a reason not to do something, find 2 reasons to do it. And I did. And I realized that my mom could not bear the fact of having her baby so far away. And honestly, I realized that I didn't want to be away either. So I found a school who met all my desires. And here I am today. And all thanks to my grandma for showing me that my voice was a voice worth hearing. Sadly, she's not physically here today. And not because she's in Russia, Netherlands, the UK, Brazil, Spain, Mexico, or Canada, but because she's in a better place. But like I said, I know she was with me all this time. And I know that she'll be proud of knowing that her grandson made it. It's weird. I believe in what I call the butterfly effect. For those who don't know what it is, it means that you're smart enough for not following my blog. And for those who don't know what a blog is, just smile and nod accordingly. I'll explain it quickly. The butterfly effect comes from the idea that a flap from a butterfly's wings in Brazil was so strong that it caused a change in the wind currents, causing a tornado in Texas. Of course, it's all metaphorical. It's not like the tornadoes in the movie Twister were caused by one butterfly during caipirinhas in Rio. But it is a concept that small things can have huge repercussions. And think about it. Every decision, every crossroads we face led us here. Every single one of those decisions you ever took throughout your life led you to this moment, sitting where you're sitting, feeling what you're feeling, hearing a light speech from a Mexican boy who thinks that the movie Ice Age is the greatest gift to the world from humanity. I stand here today because of the decisions I made. From deciding to come to CIC in August 2016, to deciding to leave all my CCAs to the last minute, which led me to working 6-page essays at 4 a.m. and a sleepless roommate. But all those decisions led me here. And those decisions will not stop anytime soon. Because as we exit those doors today, we will continue to face crossroads. From choosing which university to bless with our potential as doctors, lawyers, engineers, businessmen and women, to choosing who do we want to be. Because something I learned in my time in CAC, experience in the pluricultural environment, is that no matter our past or our history, we don't choose where we come from, but we choose where we want to go. We're facing one of the many crossroads we will face. I don't know the weight your history has on you, but stand tall and proud. Look back at your past and take a glance at your future. Understand where you're standing, facing what you're facing. And hope that when we reach the end of this comically branched road, you will look back and smile and know that everything you did that led you to that moment was worth it. Now, something I learned from Mr. Hayes' leadership class, famous for making the existence of a giant, all-powerful spaghetti monster an actual topic of discussion across the school, is that every good speech has a quote from a famous person. So I tried to find one. At first, I thought about ending my address with Winston Churchill's attitude is a little thing that makes a huge difference. But no, this speech has way too many cliches already. So I tried giving an homage to my Latin American background by quoting Pablo Neruda's "Someday, somewhere, anywhere. Unfailingly, you will find yourself. And that, and only that, is the happiest or victorious hour of your life." But nah, I still didn't feel right. Now everyone's sad. So then, like a dodgeball in Miss Simpson's gym class, it hit me. As I was writing this speech, I reached into my wallet, where someone that means the world to me once hid something that person somehow knew will help me in the future. It was a piece of paper with something written on it. he said, "Your art is not about how many people like your work. Your art is about if your heart likes your work, if your soul likes your work. It's about how honest you are with yourself. And you must never trade honesty with relativity." Rupi Kaur. You see, in today's society, I think the hardest thing is staying true to yourself. When we're at those crossroads, sometimes choosing a certain path can have a great cost. Sometimes we may think that we have to change who we are or what we want to do because we want to follow where everyone else is going. And I myself am a victim of such mistakes. But not anymore. Not today. You see, there's a Japanese belief that says you have 3 masks. The first mask, you show to the world. The second mask, you show to your close friends and your family. The third mask, however, you never show anyone. It is the truest reflection of who you are. But here I am today, showing you my truest self. No masks, no yearning for belonging, only me being me. And just like Cara taught me, I found my art, and I stayed true to it. I learned to love my art, and I hope that you can do the same. And as cliche as it sounds, from the bottom of my heart, I wish you the best of luck to everyone out graduating. I hope that when you find yourself in front of a crossroad, you will choose to lead, not to follow. And for those who aren't graduating yet, I want to tell you something. I'm still selling books, so just hit me up for inquiries. Thank you, everyone, for allowing me to listen to my own voice for the first time. And I hope that one day you will also listen to yours.
Deanna Dusenkinova arrived at Columbia International College in August 2016. When she arrived, she was selected to be part of the students on campus serving the leadership team, the SOX team. While on this team, Deanna and her teammates worked closely to create fundraising initiatives for the students in the school. Deanna was very dedicated to the SOX team. She always went above and beyond what was expected of her in terms of her participation. While a member of the SOX team, she was able to maintain a high academic average. She is incredibly encouraging towards those around her and has a great motivator for her team. We are proud to have her on the SOX team, and we know that she's going to do many great things in the future. I'm very proud to introduce Deanna as today's vote of thanks speaker.
Thank you, Mr. Brendan. Good afternoon, everyone. It is my first speech in front of the big audience. I'll try my best not to pass out. The thing that helped me to overcome my nervousness during all semesters in CAC is Red Bull. I'm pretty sure each student in CAC drank it with the hope to stay awake in classes. This magic drink I chose was the topic to present in my first speech in CAC in Mr. Hayes' leadership class, where I also met my Mexican friends who become very close to me. Since that time, I believe I have improved my presentation skills thanks to Ms. Dar and Ms. Yoon, my English teachers. Many students will agree with me that English is one of the toughest courses in CAC. However, the result that we have at the end is satisfying. I have never thought that I'll be given a chance to present a vote of thanks, and for this opportunity, I want to thank Mr. Brendan. I remember when he came up to me after the award ceremony and invited me for a leadership barbecue, I was speechless. I can't explain how happy and excited I was when I was nominated to give this speech. I want to thank all people who had voted for me. He gave me this chance, and I really appreciate it. I want to thank Student Development Department for giving such great opportunities to students, for helping us to develop as a person and building our strong characters. They're the ones who will help us anytime and see only the best side of us. The people whom each student needs to thank and appreciate are teachers for their patience and wisdom that they share with the students. Some courses in CIC were really tough for me, but you know what? That's how I understood that I overcome my laziness and worked hard until I get the desired result. Life will never be smooth but rocky. The low marks are only the small hills comparing to other obstacles that we will face in the future. Teachers offer hope for us, and it's our choice whether to use it or not. The next people who I want to thank are UPO, College Store, Guidance, and liaison officers. All the graduates will agree that the last semester is one of the hardest, as you need to keep your scores high and you need to build your way for university or college life. Without these people, I would be struggling a lot. They didn't just help me with university applications and school, but they bared me up whenever I was unsure about myself and thought that I will not be able to finish CC with good enough grades to enter university. We should never forget about the hard work of Sodexo staff, residence house parents, maintenance, and cleaning staff for making our stay in Canada feel like home. Imagine school without tutors. I'm pretty sure that my English mark would be much lower without their help. Let's give an applause to these people who help us. The person I want to thank for her warm heart, support, and her kindness is Miss Dorar. She's the person who's like a sunshine. Whenever I saw her in the hallway or SD, she was always smiling and she was sharing with me her positive mood. Even when I wasn't part of her club, she encouraged me to apply for a leadership team when I already lost my hope to be accepted. In SOC's club that she leads, I didn't just gain the leadership experience, but I grew up as a person. I wasn't afraid to be myself, and I took responsibility of my actions. The first days in Canada were really tough for me, and only my family could cheer my mood up. Even though they are far away from me, I still feel their support and love. When I was studying in the 9th grade in Kazakhstan, I never thought that I would be studying abroad in Canada. And for this opportunity, I want to thank my grandparents. They're the ones who put me on the right path in my life. I enjoy the feeling of my family being proud of me. Therefore, I'm putting much effort in everything I want to accomplish. I know that I'll never be able to give back to them everything they gave to me, but now I want to thank them for the greatest opportunities that they have opened to me. Moving forward, I want to thank Mr. Chan and Mrs. Saunders for opening such a great school where people from all around the world can meet each other. My time in TC wouldn't be as easy and unforgettable without my friends. I'm really happy to meet people from different parts of the world and sharing this precious time with them. I want to thank them for being with me in my hard times, helping me to overcome obstacles on my way, and bringing memorable moments to my life. Due to modern technology, I'm hoping that our strong bonds will remain the same for our entire lives. I found one quote that relates to me, and I hope it can relate to everyone who is here today to share this precious moment with the graduates. What feels like the end is often the beginning of something new. I feel that this quote illustrates my feeling right now. I feel sad and excited at the same time, as these are the last minutes in the high school. However, new part of life is coming, one of the most interesting one. Today is a very special day for all graduates, as the time to end a chapter of our lives came. This moment can happen only once in our lives, so let's enjoy it with the people who are here to celebrate it with us. Thank you.
At this stage, I would like to ask Dr. Cam Davis to come forward on behalf of the CIC Endowment Fund.
Thank you very much. Graduates, congratulations. Faculty, I don't know if you've ever been thanked. I've been here a little while, and I know all the time and effort you put into it. So you've been working to create this end product, and I have to congratulate you too as well. But there's also another group, the parents. I know that you've been challenged time and time and again on many occasions to bring your students to Canada, and you reached an ultimate goal here of witnessing this today. I just want to just briefly, I've been given 1 minute, so there's 45 seconds right there. I'm in charge of the Columbia International Scholarship Endowment Fund. I came in earlier this morning to write some checks to hand out today. It's not my money. I volunteer my time along with other members of the board. We have a lawyer, and I'm the educator, and we have an accountant, and we come in and we have not put in 6,000 hours. So I can tell you that, but it absolutely astounds me in terms of the amount of generosity that comes through volunteerism. And so my job is to ask, we ask partners, we ask suppliers, we ask students, and we ask parents to volunteer some resources so we can hand out scholarships and awards. So this fund has been going since 2009, and we've passed out just short of $500,000. My job is to see how we can spend even more money on students in terms of scholarships and awards. That's my total objective. I don't want to put it in the bank at all. I want to spend it. And so to this end, you're going to be getting a little brochure that says our gift to you. It's a gift ticket, so you need this to pick up something. But on the, you get redeem your gift after the ceremony. But on the other side, if you wanted to fill out the form, here's my gift to future students, the students who haven't applied or will be applying, so we can hand out scholarships and awards. That would be great. I understand there's a deposit fund, and if they haven't asked or for the deposit back, apparently you get it back. But if you would like to donate part or all of your security fund, then we would certainly appreciate that. Not a cent will be spent on any salaries or any, and our admin is extremely low. I want to give it back to the students. Pay it forward. Thank you very much.
At this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Chan, the founder and executive director of Columbia International College, to come to the podium and say a few words.
Good morning, or is it good afternoon now? It's good afternoon now. Good afternoon, platform guests and parents, faculties, staff, and graduates. This is another special day, and this also signifies the end of the 38th year of Columbia International College operation. And for this past year, or this still 2017, past 12 months, I noticed that I have traveled 120,000 miles. That's a lot of mileage, flying all over the world, meeting with parents, and visiting schools, and visiting some of the education consultants who would recruit students for us. So over Christmas, I'm going to stay home. I'm going to stay away from airports. I'm going to stay away from any mode of transportation and just enjoy the fireplace. And hopefully we're going to have a white Christmas. You know, after 38 years, what is my vision for Columbia International College? As mentioned in the book, is I want to make Columbia the most caring school in the world. This, I mean it from the bottom of my heart, and I will, over 2018, 2019, 2020, and over the next few years, I'm going to devote resources, human resources, money, and time to transform Columbia International College to be the most caring school in the world. We don't need any more students. We are already the largest in North America. I want and I will improve the service delivery in academic and also in the other aspect, residence, programming, student development, security, IT, all kinds of services that we are going to deliver to our students. That would be my vision for Columbia International College 2018 and moving forward. So I hope all of you will support me in that endeavor. I hope we can do a better job, even a better job for our graduates in the future. And as mentioned by Dr. Davis, I said, parents, I hope you can support us, through your family, sending other siblings to our school, telling your friends and colleagues about Columbia International College, or supporting us through the scholarship donation. I wanted to stand in front of you today here and tell you with my personal commitment that I will continue to make Columbia better, and I will continue to make Columbia the most caring school in the world. Thank you. I can't resist but also commend Brandon for doing a great job, and I wish Kathy Chorenji a speedy recovery to her car accident. And sitting in my chair there, teachers, I want to tell you a surprising note. Don't read it any other way, I was sitting in my chair and was looking at everybody here. If you haven't noticed, after this ceremony, go over and say hi to Olga Ward. She looks very pretty in her red hot high heels, right?
All right, at this point, we would like to play a video called Today is the Day.
It's a day not like every other day. It's the day. The day for friends to celebrate. The day for remembering the good times. The day for laughter and happy tears. It's the day to share with family.
Wow, that was awesome. All right. Okay, now, we have a bit of a tradition here. So at this point, I'd like to call Mr. Saunders, Mr. Chan, Deanna, and Juan to come down to the front here for our traditional cutting of the cake. And Mr. Pedro Martinez. All right, before he leaves, Mr. Steven back there, let's give him a big round of applause because that cake looks awesome. All right, thank you. Graduates, we hope that we've prepared you to go out into the world and make your mark in your academic lives, your professional lives, and your personal lives. We have tried to give you the opportunities and guidance to develop your character throughout your time here. Now, even though I am not a big J.K. Rowling fan, I heard this quote and I absolutely love it. So, it is impossible to live without failing at something, unless you live so cautiously that you might as well have not lived at all, in which case you fail by default. I'll ask the graduates, go forward in life. Don't be afraid of failure. Be bold, be brave, and be yourself. Thank you. This concludes our graduation ceremony for December 2017. A celebration such as this one takes an enormous amount of planning and effort on the part of many individuals. First of all, I would like to thank Mr. Lawless and the vocal music choir over here. And a big thank you to Kimberly Wentmore for coming here today. A thank you to our maintenance, liaison, and student development, IT, and UPO departments for their tireless efforts to make this graduation a success. Finally, a thank you to all the members of the platform party and parents and guests for being here today. Now, I love the student speeches, but now for probably the most exciting part. All right. We are going to be doing the ceremonial throwing of the grad caps. So I'll need all the grads to stand up right now and the camera crew to get ready. Oh, and Juan and Deanna to head down. All right, everyone get your cameras out. I am going to ask everybody in the audience to count down from 3 with me. Are you guys ready? All right. 3, 2, 1. Whoa! Thank you. All right, you guys can take your seats. All right, after the recessional of the graduates, please join us for a light reception in the Living Wall Lounge. Please feel free to take pictures with family, friends, and staff. There are photo areas set up for your convenience. As well, when you are leaving, parents, please find a small gift as a token of our thanks for coming today. I believe Mr. Davis talked about that. And a reminder for all graduates, please return your gowns to room 113 no later than 3 o'clock today. And if you have, so that you can take pictures in your gown. Graduates' parents can express their thoughts and feelings in the front of any video cameras that are set up for you today. And lastly, it is time for our recessional, and I'll ask Mr. Lawless to set up. Let's give a big applause and a thank you to Kimberly. That was awesome. All right, this concludes the ceremony. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Have a good day. Yes, I do. I have one. Someone might have bring this home to my girls.